Right now at 5:30, the latest in a rash of violent crimes in Lexington. Police are investigating after a man was shot multiple times.
Also on WKYT this morning, a school bus driver in Knox County has been charged after police say children brought guns onto his bus and he didn't alert authorities.
If you can't make it to Churchill this weekend for the Derby, there are some options for celebration right here in Lexington.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you from WKYT. Welcome in on your Friday, the first day of May. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. It's Oaks Day, too, so it'll be an exciting time. We had some wild weather late afternoon yesterday.
Well, at least for a little while, you know, but overall we've had this nice trend all week long, and we get back to the beautiful weather it looks like for the weekend. In fact, a lot of people on our web post say they're going to be doing yard work this weekend.
Well, that is probably a good thing, and there'll obviously be a lot of them getting out to celebrate the Oaks today and the Derby tomorrow. And let's check in now with Micah for the latest on what the weather will look like for that.
Well, the weather will look pretty good. It's really not all that bad. Looking for temperatures this morning on the cool side in the 40s. And then as we slide into the afternoon, here's what we're going to be looking at. 68 degrees. It'll be a really nice day, mixture of sun and clouds. Don't expect any rain to fall out of those clouds. And definitely nothing like what we saw yesterday with those showers and thunderstorms rolling on through. So this is actually a really good feeling day. However, it's not even close to being the warmest day. We may even get 15 degrees higher than that in your 7-day forecast. And I'll show you all that coming up in about 10 minutes.
Okay, look forward to all those details with the warm up, and let's get to the news.
We're tracking a crime alert in Lexington right now. A man was rushed to the hospital after police say he was shot multiple times.
It comes not even a full day after city leaders held a public forum to discuss how to try to keep Lexington safer. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Lexington with the latest on the investigation. He's joining us. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. This is the latest shooting in what has already been a violent few weeks. According to our records, this is the 13th shooting in Lexington since April 7th. Police say that it happened in an area where they already have added extra patrols. Now, according to investigators, the man was shot on Ballpark Drive, just off of North Broadway, around 1:30 this morning. Police told us earlier this week that they had increased their bike patrols in the area because there has been a rash of crime there. Investigators told us that just 4 hours ago, they added another case to their list of crimes there after the man was shot 3 times. We're told he was shot at least once in the back. Officers tell us that the man knocked on doors after he was shot looking for help. Police say that he got that help from a witness who helped him walk a few blocks to Paris Avenue. Investigators say he may have been taken to a family member's house there because when officers arrived, he was on a porch with people who knew them. We're told that he was then rushed to the hospital where he is now in serious condition.
Some witnesses say they walked him over here. So from this area to where we actually got him over on Paris Avenue, a witness that was with him said that he made contact with him. He told her he'd been shot and she walked him over there. We're really trying to cook down exactly why that happened.
Officers tell us that the man who was shot is coherent and is helping them with their investigation. As for the shooter, officers tell us that they are looking into a possible suspect. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. And this shooting comes not even a full day after community leaders gathered last evening to talk about ways to try to make Lexington safer. The NAACP teamed up with Lexington police and corrections leaders for a town hall forum. It was at Winburn Middle School last night. Public safety was one of the main topics of the forum, but organizers say this was planned before a recent string of violence in Lexington. They say the forum was productive, but more needs to be done.
This is serious. And you know, we talk about somebody's life. That's really serious. You can't put a price tag on that. So it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. We're ready.
Lexington Police Chief Mark Barnard was among those who spoke. Organizers also used part of the forum to discuss ways that people who have spent time in jail can get back into the workforce.
Well, family and friends are rallying around a Bourbon County family whose 4-year-old child was killed in a crash. The crash happened early yesterday morning on Interstate 79 in Braxton County, north of Charleston, West Virginia. Stephen Jackson, a family friend, tells us the family was headed home to Bourbon County for his mother's funeral. He says 4-year-old Caitlin Elizabeth Rojas was killed. Jackson tells us Caitlin's family suffered a few broken vertebrae, still in the hospital. He says Caitlin's 2 sisters, also in the vehicle, were okay.
Now 5:35 on WKYT this morning, and a school bus driver has been charged after police say 2 children brought guns to a Knox County elementary school. State police arrested Charles Hans. They've charged him with facilitation to unlawfully possess a weapon on school property. Police say 2 brothers, ages 6 and 7, brought the guns from home yesterday morning. They're students at DeWitt Elementary. Police say one of the guns was loaded. Police say the children rode a bus that morning, and a student told the bus driver, Charles Hans, about the guns before the bus arrived at school. But they say the bus driver never reported it. Police say the boys brought the guns for show and tell, thinking that they were toys.
They're very young. They had no idea of what could potentially happen. And again, you know, they had no intention to harm anyone.
Police also charged the children's parents, John and Melissa Jackson, with endangering the welfare of a minor. Police say the children have been placed with their grandparents.
Some Scott County kids had quite the scare when their school bus was involved in a crash yesterday. 8 students had to be taken to the hospital after a pickup rear-ended their bus. This is according to the Georgetown News graphic. It happened on Double Culvert Road. The children, were told, did not have any serious injuries.
Well, she says she has been helping him with his mental illness for years, but a Powell County woman says her husband shot her. Police say Gary Morrison told them that he shot his wife, Jan, because she was trying to put him in a psychiatric hospital. Jan Morrison told us that she was just standing by a sink at the time. She was not seriously injured and was treated and released from the hospital. She says she hopes the shooting will lead to her husband getting the help he needs.
It's a cry for help from him, and he's flared up before, but we've always worked it out, and but I can't work it out with the gun pointed at me.
Police have charged Gary Morrison with assault. He did not want to talk with us from jail.
A man from eastern Kentucky has died in a work-related accident in Illinois. Investigators say 20-year-old James Campbell of Prestonsburg died yesterday morning. He worked for the R.J. Corman Company. The Ogle County, Illinois Sheriff's Office says Campbell was on an ATV next to the railroad tracks when a boom arm being used to pick up railroad spikes hit that ATV. Campbell fell off and suffered a head injury and later died.
2 people in Whitley County have been arrested after police say they found 5 meth labs. 33-year-old Paul Helton and 33-year-old Nikki Brock are both charged with making meth and possession of drug paraphernalia. Police say the 2 were found living out of a car parked on Helton's family's property. When they searched the car, they found meth and Suboxone. They say when they searched the property, they found several one-step meth labs.
A Fleming County woman was arrested on drug trafficking charges. 31-year-old Amy Abner of Ewing allegedly had 23 oxycodone pills she intended to sell. This is according to the Lewis County Sheriff. Abner is charged now with drug trafficking.
We have an update to a story we first brought you yesterday. We have now learned the demolition for a historic Lexington building has been put off, at least for now. Fayette County Property Valuation Administrator David O'Neill posted on Facebook late last night that he received word that the People's Bank demolition on South Broadway has been postponed. He says in that post that Langley Properties, who owns the property, discussed the project yesterday with city leaders.
A Harlan County family has quite a mess to clean up at their home because of a tree. They say strong winds caused that tree to fall into their home in the Verda community. They say most of the damage is confined to the kitchen. The family tells us they were at home when that tree fell. No one was injured. The family tells us they are not sure how much it's going to cost to fix all that damage.
Well, all of a sudden, right? Well, today begins a very busy weekend in the horse racing world and here in the Commonwealth. This evening, horses will run for the Lilies at the 141st Kentucky Oaks.
If you can't make the drive to Louisville, you can join in. The festivities are happening right here in Lexington. WKYT's Hillary Thornton live from Keeneland with a look at what is happening. Good morning, Hillary.
Good morning. That's right. Just because all of that horse racing action is taking place at Louisville's Churchill Downs, that does not mean there is nothing for horse racing fans here in Lexington to do this weekend. Keeneland is gearing up for a big weekend here, starting today with the Oaks Day as the fillies take to the track running for the Lilies. Here at Keeneland, Oaks Day features martinis on the lawn. Then tomorrow is the big day, the Kentucky Derby. Keeneland will host the world's largest Derby Day celebration. There will be plenty to do here with concessions, live music, picnicking in the paddock, kids club children's activities, and of course some big racing to watch. Fans can watch the races going on at Churchill on the large video board overlooking the paddock or on the large infield board from the grandstand seats. Also, more than 1,000 televisions will be placed throughout the track. Now, if you have some favorites running for the Lilies or the Roses or any of the other races throughout the weekend, there are several ways you can place those bets here at Keeneland. Now, gates open at 9 o'clock both mornings, and each day the races are scheduled to start around 10:30. Admission today for Oaks Day here at Keeneland is free, and then tomorrow for Derby Day, it's $5 per person, with children 12 and under getting in for free. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
All right. I'm
She
sure.
had me at free.
Yeah, right. Good price, right? And I'm sure that they'll have a crowd. I think there's a little charge for adults tomorrow, but today it is free. So
I
there you
went
go.
last year for the
Yeah.
Derby to Keeneland, and it was a lot of fun. They have a big old TV out
Yeah.
there that you can watch it on, and everybody's, you know, cheering together.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
they
a good
say
time.
just different experiences depending on what you want to do. So there's a good option for you. 541 as we check live drive traffic this morning and see what's going on out on the roads. And here is a look at a rather quiet,
It is rather quiet, isn't it?
Nicholasville Road that becomes very busy here in a couple of hours. Things are looking good right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good, and obviously keep in mind that there may be a little bit of heavier traffic, you know, today as you're headed along 64 going over to Louisville. So
Derby, Oaks bound today, Derby tomorrow, and also obviously the big crowds, as we said, out at Keeneland. So everybody just be ready for that. Be safe and enjoy this wonderful weekend.
and of course, we will be, WKYT, out at the Oaks today, so also catch us at noon. You'll catch myself out
Oh, you're
there.
going
Got a
out
little
today?
fascinator out there.
Really? Oh, look forward
You'll have
to
to
that.
check it out.
We'll see how big that is, right? Okay. We have a lot more news coming up on WKYT on your Friday morning.
A California man is getting some praise for fighting off an intruder. We'll tell you how he scared off a bear, by punching it.
And we're looking outside, sitting there in the 40s. We hit the weekend, 70s and 80s. Much more in your Derby weekend coming up.